Well, that's for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, like us in France, suffering with the wind and the rain this evening. A warm reminder from Pip here what a sunrise looks like in the South Atlantic. Anyway, front of the fleet just now, it's extremely close. There's only 118 miles between the top 6 boats. And Louis Burton out in the west of the fleet, going faster than ever and closing down a little bit on the boats just behind. Charlie Dallin leading the fleet just now. He's doing 16 knots compared to Louis Burton doing over 20. Louis sailing further. He's has in his eyesight, he has on his target a little channel of breeze which may give him the big jump, which could see him coming into Le Sabre d'Olonne first. That's the estimation of our weather expert Sébastien Josse this morning. Let's look at the rankings then at 6 o'clock this evening. Well, Charlie Dallin is on top. His lead is 65 miles. So Boris Herrmann has closed down about 20 miles over the course of the day, going faster than Charlie. Charlie with that foil problem, or his foil box. He's doing 16 knots this evening. Boris doing 17.9. But as I said, Louis Burton fastest just now, 20.1. He's now up to 74 miles behind the leader and is on a little bit of a charge. Thomas Riong in fourth, doing 11.1 knots. Fifth, Damien Seguin still going nicely, 106 miles behind the leader. 15.5 knots is a good speed still. Furthest to the east of the fleet is Damien Seguin in fifth place. Yannick Bestaven reporting this morning is looking forward to the downwind conditions. He's much better suited to downwind conditions with the sail inventory that he has left. Giancarlo Padotti in seventh, going nicely, 15.6 knots. Jean Le Cam is now 296 miles behind the lead and doing 16 knots this evening. Benjamin de Treux still going well. Maxime Sorel, that big gap, there's nearly 300 miles between him and Le Cam, between him and Dutreux. And then Armel Tripon in 11th. Clarice Kramer went across the equator earlier in the day. He's done 120 miles since then and is in 12th. And Roman Atanasio going nicely in 13th, doing 10 or 11 knots. And this was Roman Atanasio sending us his video, still having problems with his broken ribs, but happy nonetheless.
Vache. Je fais d'une main parce que je peux vous dire que j'ai sacrément mal aux côtes. Ah, celle-là, là, aux deux là, alors, ici, là. Ça allait bien finalement et puis c'est de pire en pire. Alors, le médecin m'a donné des médocs un peu plus forts, mais bon, tout va bien à bord depuis Urbès Western. À part ça, le bateau va bien, c'est le principal. Moi, ça va se réparer tout seul. Et on a un copain. Regardez ce que je viens de croiser. Il est où? Il est là. Il n'est pas passé loin, donc il faut commencer à être vigilant. Il commence à y avoir du trafic. Plus dehors qu'avant. Oups là, ça mouille. Et voilà, tout va bien. On est quasiment passé le Brésil et on se rapproche de l'équateur dans 2 jours. Un peu moins peut-être.
Indeed, Roman Atanasio looking forward to the equator in 2 days. Round about 300, just over 300 miles to the equator for Roman Atanasio. In 13th place, looking down our rankings, Jeremy Bayou doing very nicely now in 14th, 11.4 knots. Still Alan Rura and Arnaud Boissy in that little high pressure zone, still very slow this evening, 3.4 and 1.9 knots only. Pip Hare is in the same system just now, getting across that semi-stationary cold front, doing 6.5 knots. So very slightly better than the boats in front. Further down the table, Kojiro Shiraishi in 19th, doing 13.5 knots, so going pretty well for him. And Didac Costa in the same piece of water, really, 13 knots for him just now. Miranda Merin in 22nd, 14.8 knots this evening. And then Alexia Barry and Ari Hosela both coming into Cape Horn over the weekend. Alexia on Saturday, Ari Hosela super happy at Cape Horn on Sunday. So that's the rankings this evening. My guest tomorrow will be Giovanni Soldini, the Italian ocean record holder. the Italian record holder, who indeed is very much instrumental in the career of Boris Herrmann. He very much gave Boris his first big break ocean racing in terms of taking him on board, and that's where he met Pierre Casiraghi, and that's where the Malizia team started. So Giovanni will be with us. Any questions for him? Boris will be live, so any questions for Boris, do post them on our social media channels, on Facebook, Instagram or on Twitter, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Oh.